Artificial intelligence.
Error.
The ever-improving digital consciousness that will inevitably bring the world to its cataclysmic end, throwing the human race headfirst into a hell of our own creation. In the meantime, we use it to create astonishingly beautiful works of art, cheat on our math homework, and make our YouTube videos for us. And for today's video, I'm going to be doing just that. I'm going to be utilizing the newly released Chat GPT-4 to see just how good AI is at creating original content. As a longtime player, and something of an expert when it comes to the lore of Fallout, we're going to put this AI superbrain to the test. Can AI write Fallout lore? Alright, we'll start off real simple here. Write new lore for the Fallout video game series. A pretty easy, pretty straightforward prompt. Let's see what the computer can write up for us. In the year 2077, just before the Great War that devastated the world, a group of scientists and engineers working for the US government developed a top-secret project known as the Garden of Eden Creation Kit, or GECK for short. The GECK was a device that could terraform and create entire ecosystems in a matter of days, with the goal of allowing humanity to colonize new worlds. Okay, cool. We're starting off with a little bit of pre-established lore. That's good. Start simple and then expand from there. As the war broke out, the scientists managed to smuggle a single GECK out of the country and onto a spaceship bound for a distant planet. However, during the journey, the ship was hit by a mysterious energy wave that caused it to crash land on a hostile alien world. Didn't really expect this to head in a Martian Xenon direction, but alright, that's and you know what? It's always good to see more aliens in Fallout. I've said it 1,000 times, I'll say it 1,000 times more. We need more space critters. The sole survivor of the crash was a young scientist named Emily, who managed to salvage the GECK and use it to create a small, self-sustaining community in the alien wilderness. Over the years, Emily and her descendants used the GECK to expand their community and developed new technologies, eventually forming a thriving civilization on the alien world. Wait, Emily was the sole survivor of the crash, and yet she was somehow able to create descendants? Was she pregnant and then things got real weird for a second there?
That's disturbing.
Maybe the AI isn't quite as good as it thinks it is. However, as the centuries passed, the descendants of Emily began to forget their origins and the purpose of the GECK. They came to view it as a divine artifact, with the power to grant wishes and reshape reality itself. Wars were fought over control of the GECK, and its power was harnessed to create vast cities and monstrous creatures. I guess war really never did change.
Huh?
And you can quote me on that. As the centuries turned into millennia, the people of the alien world lost all contact with their ancestral home, and the knowledge of the Great War faded into myths and legends. But the GECK remained, an object of worship and power, wanting for a new hero to uncover its secrets and unlocking its true potential. You know what? Overall, that wasn't half bad. It kind of felt like it was two different things. It was definitely pulling from like Fallout 2 a little bit with such a focus on the GECK, or maybe Fallout 1 and Fallout 2 a little bit with definitely Fallout 2 with a focus on the mythologicalness of the GECK. But yeah, then it kind of took a sci-fi aspect, which, you know, it's not awful. I just feel like both of those things could work well as like two different stories, you know, like a Fallout DLC that takes place, or like a Fallout spin-off title even that takes place on a distant world, and then you like fight aliens and shit. That might be a little bit too Starfield, but that's not too bad. That's pretty decent. And then obviously the other one with the descendants of a tribe or a civilization that controls the GECK, and then they forget what it's for and stuff. That's already kind of very Fallout as is. But yeah, this is decent AI write-up. I give it I don't know, this many out of 10. How about that? Does that sound good? Too bad, it's my video. All right, you know what? That one worked so well. Let's do another one. Let's use the exact same prompt. All right, computer, show us what you can do. Something went wrong. Awesome. Okay, let's try it again. Computer brain.
Yes, Toshi?
Write new lore for the Fallout video game series.
How's your commandment?
Okay, so far this isn't really new lore. This is just they're just redoing Fallout 3 to uncover the secrets of the pre-war world and hope to bring the people of the wasteland together, and then they would kiss and it would be beautiful. Yeah, that was not new lore. Let's just regenerate. Okay, this one's about the Enclave. Ooh, okay, this has some kind of new stuff. Okay, so we have a new prompt here. Once again, write new lore for the Fallout video game series. This one's, I think this one's a little bit longer, but yeah, let's see what we got. In the aftermath of the Great War of 2077, the world as we knew it ceased to exist. The once great nations of the world crumbled, and in their place rose a new world of chaos and danger. The survivors of the nuclear apocalypse struggled to eke out a living in the harsh wasteland, constantly battling against mutated creatures, radiation, and each other for survival. But amidst the chaos, a new threat emerged, a secretive organization known as the Enclave. Okay. Comprised of remnants of the pre-war United States government, had survived the nuclear onslaught by retreating to secret underground bunkers. From their hidden enclaves, enclaves, roll credits, the Enclave had been working to rebuild their power and technology, and they had set their sights on reclaiming the wasteland and rebuilding a new America in their image. However, they were not the only ones seeking to rebuild. A group of survivors, known as the Revenants, had band together to resist the Enclave's tyranny and fight for a better future. Armed with makeshift weapons and their indomitable spirit, the Revenants waged guerrilla war against the Enclave, striking from the shadows and sabotaging their plans at every turn. All right, a group that more or less exists specifically to spite the Enclave. That's pretty dope. As the conflict between the Enclave and the Revenants escalated, a third faction emerged. Known as the Forsaken, these were former members of both the Enclave and the Revenants who had grown disillusioned with the endless fighting and sought to forge their own path. The Forsaken sought to create a new society, one that valued cooperation and compromise, compassion, over power and domination. Okay, all right, we're expanding a little bit. We're telling a story. It definitely sounds like the Revenants became, the thing they were fighting against a little bit in their effort to take down the Enclave, and then the Forspoken were just like both factions, like, hey, bro, I don't like this. This isn't it. This is not the way. We're gonna go third party on this. That's cool. I like that, especially with a little bit of the parallel between like that and current American politics, which is always just so great and so cool to talk about publicly in a YouTube video. And the last paragraph here. Now the wasteland is a battleground, with the Enclave, the Revenants, and the Forsaken vying for control. The fate of the wasteland rests in the hand of the player, who must choose their allies wisely, navigate treacherous political waters. Hey, look, there's politics again. Joe Biden. And ultimately decide the fate of the wasteland. Will they side with the Enclave to help them rebuild their vision of America? Fight alongside the Revenants to create a more just and equitable society? Or join forces with the Forsaken to forge a new path forward? The choice is yours in the world of Fallout. God, I can see like the splash title, like it just from like left to right, like Fallout 5. No, that's good. That's actually pretty damn good. If they were going to make a Fallout game focused more so entirely or at least majorly around like the Enclave, and they wanted to like flesh out the lore and stuff, that would probably be it. That'd be pretty dope. Maybe in like the early days after the war, and it's like, oh, you got the Enclave, and then there's like splinter factions that, broke off from them, as it kind of alluded to there with the Forsaken, and then you just go from there. That's solid. That's pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie there. All right, so now I want to get a little bit more specific. Let's try creating a brand new Vault Tech experiment. Let's see what the computer has to say on this one. So we got something here. Let's see what kind of sick and twisted brain this computer actually has. Let's see if they can stand up to the madness of the Vault Tech Corporation. Vault Tech's latest experiment was designed to test the limits of human adaptability and resilience in the face of extreme environmental conditions. Vault 345, which I think would be the highest vault we have. I don't think we've had many that go past 120. It's a different topic. Vault 345 was built deep beneath the frozen tundras of Alaska, where temperatures regularly dropped to negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit and blizzards raged for months on end. The vault was equipped with a state-of-the-art climate control system and self-sustaining hydroponic garden, providing the residents with a sustainable source of food and water. However, the true test of the experiment was the lack of natural light within the vault. The entire facility was built without any windows or skylights, and the artificial light was programmed to simulate a 24-hour day-night cycle. That sounds pretty normal, actually. The residents of Vault 345 were monitored closely to determine the effects of prolonged exposure to artificial light on their physical and mental health. Researchers hypothesized that prolonged exposure to artificial light would lead to a variety of negative effects, including disrupted circadian rhythm, depression, and decreased cognitive function. Okay, so I think maybe the AI just isn't, obviously it's not perfect, and it's trying to say that it's instead of, a 24-hour day-night cycle, it just had full lights on all the time. To combat these potentially negative effects, the vault was equipped with a variety of amenities and entertainment options to keep the residents occupied and engaged. There were virtual reality simulations, fully stocked libraries, and even a small movie theater. It's going to be really hard to watch movies when it's blinding bright in the movie theater. Over the course of several decades, the residents of Vault 345 adapted to their unique living conditions, developing their own unique culture and way of life. They developed a strict schedule to maintain a sense of normalcy, with designated times for work, recreation, and sleep. As the years passed, the researchers were surprised to find that the residents of Vault 345 had not only adapted to their environment, but had actually thrived. Their cognitive function remained intact, and they exhibited a high degree of creativity and ingenuity in their daily lives. In the end, the experiment proved that human adaptability is far greater than previously thought, and that the right tools and resources, humans can thrive in even the most extreme conditions. It didn't really seem all that harsh. You just never turn the lights off. The AI created a pretty unique setup there. Vault 345 in Alaska. It did do a little bit of the footwork, but I feel like it kind of fell a little flat with the actual social experiment aspect of it. That wasn't too bad. I'll give it I don't know, 6 out of 10, 6 out of 12, 7. All right, let's do another one. All right, so we're jumping over to a different AI. This is OpenAI. It's slightly different from Chat GPT, but I've been known to use both interchangeably when I'm just messing around with it. But it is still a very good AI program. And for this one, I entered the exact same prompt: create new lore for the Fallout video game series, and it actually spat out a pretty interesting response, so let's take a look here. In the years following the Great War, survivors of the nuclear holocaust began to build a new society in the ruins of the old world. One of the most influential groups was a society of wasteland wanderers known as the Pathfinders. The Pathfinders were a loosely organized group of nomads, scavengers, and traders who roamed the post-apocalypse, searching for supplies and trading goods with other survivors. They became a symbol of hope and resilience, offering a sense of security and community in a shattered world. The Pathfinders were led by a mysterious figure known only as the Navigator. He was an enigmatic warrior who had an almost magical ability to find his way through the dangerous and unpredictable wasteland. He was said to possess a strange sixth sense that allowed him to detect and avoid danger, and his knowledge of the wasteland was unparalleled. All right, there you go. That's definitely some lore shit right there. It kind of sounds like maybe the Navigator was like a psyker or something. The Navigator has no known origin, but was thought to be a survivor from before the Great War. Okay, possibly from a distant land. Canada. He would often offer advice to the Pathfinders in their travels, and his presence became a symbol of hope in a world of despair. The Pathfinders eventually grew into a formidable force. And then it actually cut off right there because this max length thing right here, like this guy, it's normally set like way down here, but if it's set like higher, it can spit out more. But yeah, that was actually pretty solid. Not gonna lie, that was a pretty solid lore. I could definitely see like the Pathfinders or this Navigator person being an actual character in Fallout. So you know what? I'm gonna give that an 8 out of 10. That not too bad, not too shabby. Good job, OpenAI.